What's up, guys and gals? It's your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the next piece of One Piece, chapter 1023 review. Now, a lot of people are really excited about this chapter. Some people are really excited about the Sanji stuff. Some people are really excited about the King stuff. Me, personally, really excited about this cover page. I don't normally talk about the cover page unless I find them somewhat relevant. But as Vivi is best girl, best waifu, all those Nami Robin fan guys are just going to go crazy in my comment section with that one. But Vivi is definitely best girl, so we have a Vivi cover page. It's just simple, it's nice, and it's nice to see the best woman in the series, Vivi, back in action. Vivi is here, and she's looking very, very nice with all the sparrows and the birds coming as she's singing with them in the tree. And we got Karu down there just, yelling up and being all jealous and that kind of idea. So it's just a nice, sweet cover page request. So, but that's not why you guys are here. You guys are here for the main stuff. So just so I'm not missing anything, this week I am going to go through the chapter page by page. Not read aloud, not react, because I've already read the chapter, of course. But I think I'm just going to, just sort of make sure that I can talk about everything, because the end of the last chapter was really fire. Unfortunately, as I said, I still think that Zoro is going to attempt to go fight Kaido one more time, but probably, knowing his luck, the medicine is going to wear off once he uses his final attack on King. He's going to defeat King, which is the method, but it just would have been nice. I mean, Oda really did break the mold this time, like for who fights. You know what I mean? Like, because Zoro always takes down the second strongest in the arc. Always, always, always. That's always how it works. Luffy takes on the main bad, and Zoro takes on the second strongest of that group. It's usually the formula, right? And this would be no different with Zoro defeating King. And we all predicted that before Wano even really started. When we first got introduced, we all thought that that would be the case. So the fact that the rooftop gang thing happened is significant, I think. And if we get nothing else, at least we have that moment that Zoro is on that level sort of idea, right? Either way, this one is showcasing us that of course, the attacks didn't seem to do too much. I mean, they're both flat on their ass. Both King and Queen are flat on their ass. But they don't seemingly, like, King's just looking up like, oh, that was an attack. Huh. And Queen's just like, whatever. So Sanji and Sanji and Zoro are ready to face them down. So this is where we get some more of the Beast Pirates and stuff trying to attack the ones that weren't taken over. They're trying to attack Zoro and Sanji. But Kawamatsu is there with Hirogoro the Flowers and, of course, some of the other Yakuza bosses. And because they're still pretty strong in their own right, remember. Hirogoro's not weak. Kawamatsu's not weak. So they can take care of the riffraff. I don't think there's anybody else significant on this floor. The only one left, of course, X-Drake, was doing his thing. So X-Drake is, we haven't seen that for a while, by the way. Aren't they supposed to be on this floor? X-Drake and Apu or whatever? They're supposed to be on this floor and still sort of fighting it out. So the only other significant person that Hirogoro, the Yakuza bosses, couldn't handle are the two commanders. And X-Drake dealt with Apu from what I'm assuming. I think X-Drake will win that fight. So now it's just King and Queen. Now, they even said, don't even try to interrupt their duel. Hirogoro the Flowers makes a point to say, don't try to interrupt the duel because this is a league that we just can't get into. This is why these guys are here. We might be the Samurai on Wano. Let's take out, because when you think about it, Hirogoro and the Yakuza bosses, they can take out dozens of the members. The number figures that we were seeing with the CP0 and stuff, I-0 constantly shrinking the difference. We can have that made up now because the commanders are occupied. The Topiropo are down. The commanders are now occupied against both some of the members of the Red Scabbards and the Straw Hats. This is the opportunity for the samurai, who are generally stronger than all the foot soldiers in the Beast Pirate crew, to start making up that difference. They can just go around and take out all these guys, Kawamatsu, Hirogoro, and all them, right? So realistically, if there's any form of strategy, that's what they'll be doing. They'll be just mopping up all the floor. There's Perospero, he's out with Nekomamushi, Inurashi's dealing with Jack, Topiropo are down, and Kaido and Big Mom are both preoccupied. So the only ones, now where are the rest of the Big Mom pirates? Are they going to show up? How much longer is Act 3 going to continue? These are questions that I have no answers to, but either way, this would be the strategy to go. And plus, Marco's still there. And Marco's not he's not down and out. He's just like, phew, because we thought he was all down and out before, but he's been setting the stage, just like Shanks' attitude, Whitebeard's attitude, Roger's attitude, he's been setting the stage. His job was just to hold these guys back, which he did successfully until they were ready to be taken down by the Straw Hats. He's like, the new stars have to enter the stage sort of idea. And Marco probably could have 1v1 against King. I have no doubt in my mind that King is powerful, but I think Marco could take down King. Both full strength, 1v1, Marco wins that fight. I've got total confidence in saying that. But Marco once again realizes this isn't really his fight to win. The significant victories have to be with the next generation. He is still part of the Whitebeard crew. The Whitebeard crew is over. Their era is done. It's time for the next guys, right? But that doesn't mean he can't assist, right? So maybe we'll see him on the rooftop, because the whole thing with everyone's thinking they got Momonosuke, they got Luffy, Marco, So anyways, that being said, we get the information about the Lunarians. Now, the Lunarians apparently is the race of King here. This is where Marco is thinking about what Whitebeard said, and a lot of people assume this is that Whitebeard heard about this rumor that there was a group of the land of the gods on top of the red line. There's more than Marijoa. By the sounds of it, Marijoa was the land of the gods, which it literally is still considered to this day. It's the place, it's the palace on top of the red line. They can oversee the world sort of idea. This palace, this throne of the gods is Marijoa. But the thing is that, or Marijoa, however you say it, and the thing is that what was there before? And by the sounds of it, this was the land of the gods. So now we have Lunarians, which the moon, and there's going to be so many people excited about the moon because everybody loves Eneru. And I'm like, I don't really care for Enel or Eneru. Honestly, Skypiea, not my favorite arc, so I don't really care about that. But a lot of people are going to go, oh, moon, and we got about the sun god Nika and all this crazy, or Nikta or whatever, all this crazy stuff happening in one. And we're learning about now gods are being introduced. We have a sun god. We've got this race of moon people that can control fire that lived on top of the red line, the seat, the throne. It's like, okay, so this is apparently Whitebeard was just drinking and he heard about these rumors, sort of that whole, you go to Skyrim, yeah, I heard somebody assassinated the emperor, or blah, blah, blah. You're hearing all these crazy rumors and stuff. Hey, did you hear there's a danger cult somewhere, You can never find them, but if you find the hidden door, that kind of stuff, right? So that seems to be the idea here. Now, Izo is also on this floor, so this floor should be relatively easy for these guys, even in their weakened state, to take out. Especially guys like Izo, the Mafia bosses, Kawamatsu, Marco. Marco might be down and out right now, but give him half an hour. He'll be fine. He can still move. He can still block a move from King. I think he's okay. So, apparently Marco was spacing out sort of idea, so he was like, what the hell are you doing? We're in the middle of a battle. And he's just like, yeah, I knew you'd save me, so it's fine. And he's like, don't be such an idiot. And then he starts going, yeah, Izo, do you ever believe in God or gods or whatever? And he's like, why do you sound like Pops when he was drunk? Shut up and start, like get your head in the game, Marco. So, definitely not the time for the conversation, but that is what happens. So now, this is where Queen is still in the cyborg form and stuff like that, starts ranting about the all-star, what they call the all-stars, or the lead performers, whatever. They're the Calamities. Way better name, right? They're all the Animal Kingdom pirates, yeah. What does that have to do with all-stars? I have no idea. But either way, so the drought, the plague, and the wildfire, of course, right? We have Jack, Queen, and King. And it's like, we are the best, we're the top, we're the best that ever was, we're Pokemon masters sort of idea. He's given that sort of speech. And then this is where Zoro asks what's up with Sanji. And Sanji says, and this is something that people are going to really take to, because a lot of people like me were complaining, why isn't he putting on his raid suit? This is a calamity. You put on your raid suit for a Topiropo, one of the weaker Topiropos in page 1. You've put it on before, put it on now. Put the damn thing on. It increases your power. It doesn't just turn him invisible, remember. The raid suit actually enhances him physically. So, at least that's what we're led to believe. I don't believe if it's confirmed, but that's what we've all been led to believe. That's his power boost. And so, he says, ever since the second time I put on the raid suit, my body's feeling a little off. And Zoro goes, you better not be going down. You better not tell me like you're out of gas. And he's like, no. I don't feel bad. Just different, just strange. And the only at first I really didn't know what this meant, but I'm thinking that maybe constant exposure, because like it literally is supposed to make him better, stronger, faster, harder, that kind of thing. So if that's the case, maybe it is where he's not a genetically enhanced, and they even bring this up with the whole like Queen bringing up, you're one of the Germa's kids, so you were genetically enhanced and stuff. And of course, Sanji is the one who was not genetically enhanced. Maybe this raid suit was designed to start pumping whatever chemicals into his, like the longer exposure to the raid suit lets him adapt to the power. Sort of go a little Dragon Ball Z with it here, or Dragon Ball Super, I should say. Once he got a taste of God Ki, now his body started to adapt to what God Ki meant. He didn't need the Dragon Balls anymore. Once he was exposed to it, he could sort of start to slowly, and Goku trained himself to tap into that power. Vegeta did the same thing, and that's basically how it worked. Longer exposure to something actually made them like boost up even physically by themselves. So apparently the use of the raid suit, the only way I can figure it is that the raid suit does increase him physically, and now it is actually changing his body's chemistry. Not for the worse, it's not poisoning him, it's just, it's taking it to it's a slow burn effect with Sanji. That might be the case, might not be. And this is probably why he's hesitating to put the raid suit on. I don't know why. This could be the only explanation. So this is where, of course, they take their separate battles. Zoro takes on King, Sanji takes on Queen, and they're sort of going to be doing a duel. As I already said, Queen brings up the whole, you're one of the, you're part of the Germa 66 and all that stuff, and he's like, you know, you're all human. We get the reveal of a Lunarian. King's just like, like you weren't supposed to reveal the name of my species, you know. So, and this is where it's explained, like, how can you light your leg on fire if you're not modified, if you're not enhanced? Like, that makes no sense, right? And it's sort of like he goes, it does, because I'm a chef and I have the heat of passion to burn my legs and surpass the temperature of flame itself and stuff. And pretty much Queen just comes back with, you know, my cyborg body is even better than Vegapunk's own designs and stuff. So, I mean, we might get a little bit of a backstory. We're definitely going to get more of a backstory on King. But we might see a little bit of a flashback with Queen and how he knows Judge and Vegapunk and all this stuff, right? We might end up getting that as well in the next chapter or two. And that'll be really exciting for stuff too. But it is funny that Oda actually brings it up like, listen, a leg on fire, how? And then this is more of a joke answer. It's not a real answer. It's not like scientifically explaining like, oh, well, if you create the friction as I move my foot across the thing, and I create enough friction, and I just like I'm moving it so fast at the speed of light, so it actually creates friction, and it doesn't burn my pant legs either anytime. Like, we all know it doesn't make sense, but it's One Piece, so is what it is. So in this way, now King and Zoro have an interesting fight, because this is a type of sword. I've seen this done in an old movie before, but I don't think I've seen it in manga before, so I think this is already a weapon. I've seen weapons similar to this, and I believe that this is an actual weapon. I'm not sure, but it's got jagged like slots in the blade, because Zoro attacks with with a two-sword style technique, it seems. He hits the blade, and then King manages to like twist it and pull the blades right out of Zoro's hands, so Zoro lets them go and stuff. So then this is where King goes at him with his fist, but of course Zoro manages to block with his one sword style in the mouth. He still has his third sword. So that's pretty cool. But they basically talk about this idea of you aren't a swordsman. I shouldn't have thought you were a swordsman just because you carried a blade. That doesn't make you a swordsman. King's basically like, that's right. I get down and dirty. I fight to win. I don't fight with something so foolish like pride and honor on the line. I don't, I'll use any dirty, I'll throw sand in your eyes. I'll do whatever I have to. I'll trip you up. I'll do a cheap shot. I'll do whatever it takes. This isn't, because he's attacking with his fists and stuff. So Zoro accepts that. He picks up his two blades and says, do as you like, because by the end of this, I'm going to kick the shit out of you, sort of idea. So that's the end of that, right? Then we get the huge stuff with Zoro about basically Zoro is definitely almost completely 100% confirmed here. He is related to Ryuma. in some way. He might not be an actual direct descendant, but he's clearly related to Ryuma, because everything about it is that Ryuma was also a one-eyed samurai sort of idea. We get this big reveal. Zoro just happens to be a one-eyed samurai after training with Mihawk. The original daimyo of the Ringo region and stuff we knew was very, very powerful. The one that was with the fox and all that stuff. And this is, he was a direct... We're told that the daimyo of the Ringo region, who looks very much like Zoro with a ponytail, was a direct descendant of Ryuma, the sword god. And, of course, at Thriller Bark, he brings it back. He got Shusui, he got the sword. Maybe Ryuma knew this or something, and we're just not told. That could be some retcon stuff, but he maybe recognized it at some point. Who knows? But he gave back the... he brought back Shusui back to the resting place, right? So, and he did give it back, and he was given Enma, and he's like, the reason that none of us like really spoke up too hard when Hiyori said, I'll give you like Odin's blade, one of Odin's goddamn blades, is because everyone recognized he looks like him. He brought back Ryuma God's sword, and he's also a one-eyed samurai. Like, it's too much coincidences going on here. So a lot of Zoro people really excited about that. I'm excited too, but I'm excited for when we get the actual reason. Like, because this theory's been around forever. We're just getting more evidence that it's true. Theory's been around for a long, long time that Zoro was from Wano, or Zoro's family is from Wano. That's been around since Wano was dropped. So, well before that was dropped, like before the time skip, we believe that Zoro was from Wano. I mean, it was just how it was. So this is confirming some things. We can sort of, I guess, assume that Zoro at some point Zoro's family was from Wano, and they are probably somewhat, whether they're direct descendants, like the daimyo of the Ringo region, or if he's like an offshoot of that family, a branch family or something like that. Maybe, who knows, but I think we will find out, of course. I don't think we're going to find out all that info until after the defeat of Kaido and stuff, because I believe Kaido and Big Mom, at the very least, whether they're killed or defeated, I really do believe they'll be defeated. I don't think it'll be like a whole cake situation again, where Big Mom's not actually defeated and they run away and got what they came for. This time, it's a battle for conquest. The Yonko have to leave Wano permanently, and they have to have this huge party to celebrate the liberation of Wano. That's like the point. A lot of people thought this would be a whole cake thing, but I just don't see how that can happen this time, because this time it's not about just getting the poneglyph, getting Sanji back, and getting the hell out of there. It's literal, we need to do or die. So when that happens, I believe we'll get more information regarding Zoro and stuff. Maybe he'll talk with someone, from Wano. Maybe he'll go back to the Ringo region. Maybe we'll see what was his name? Onimaru, I believe, was the fox names. Who's best boy. So I mean, I definitely got to make sure that he stays alive. But either way, so those two fights going down. We see Inurashi versus Jack. He seems to have a little bit of a struggle or something, but they're still fighting. Inurashi managed to grab Jack by the trunk and slam him all across the place. So he's still extremely powerful. They talk about the whole idea about Raizo and like, you lied to me and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you realize that I gave up, like, for 20 years, I asked myself, am I still a samurai? We ran away. We knew this day was eventually coming, but we didn't really even feel like vassals of Odin anymore at this point, because, am I really still a samurai? And it's just sort of like, but in the end of the day, he kept his promise. Raizo showed up, and they decimated Zoe and everything, but no matter what, he lied through his teeth. He had to, for the honor of being one of Odin's samurai and stuff. And I like this, because this is really cool. And plus, we don't know where there's been holes smashed with all these crazy battles going on. There are so many holes in this roof that, boom, the moon is shining. Inurashi looking absolutely amazing, and back into Sulong form. And he's just like, and once again, just like Raizo was saying, bringing a new dawn. At this point, if the will of D does not stand for dawn at this point, I'm going to be somewhat surprised. The whole premise, romance dawn. Everybody talking about a new dawn shining over Wano. People always talking the coming dawn. A new dawn will rise. It's always about the dawn. Everybody talks about the new dawn. So at this point, I'm pretty convinced that that's gonna be the name. But either way, that's that battle, and then of course Nekomamushi is in the same way. We see Wana and Carrot are actually still out there, not in their Sulong forms yet, but we do see that that's where Perospero was knocked to. So Nekomamushi is in his Sulong form, and he's going to apparently kill Perospero. I would actually, like, once again, Wano at this point is where we can actually have some character death. I'm curious if they're actually going to kill off some characters. Some characters were killed off in Whole Cake, don't get me wrong, but like, and we were worried about Jinbei for a while, but everything seems to be okay. Like at the end of the day, like Pedro died and stuff like that. But realistically, I think we do honestly need some deaths. We need some scabbard deaths. We need some enemy deaths. We need some legit deaths. And Oda, a lot of the time, uses flashback deaths. A lot of death in One Piece, only done in flashback. Most of the time, no death in the actual present story, with the exception of the big one being Marineford. That's the big one, right? Other than that, we don't really ever have it, and I think Wano is finally the time to see it happen. I think we legitimately need to see, like, I wouldn't be remiss if Perospero went down. Maybe Kaido will actually be killed, and that'll shake everything up. You know, things like that. It's possible. I don't see any significant reason to kill any of the Topiropo or the commanders, but for Kaido and Perospero and stuff, you know, their storylines are sort of at an end here. This is where the climax, at the very least, Perospero's storyline should end here. So have to wait and see. But he's in the Sulong form, so I think Perospero's going to get his ass kicked. And of course, we still see Raizo fighting against Fukurokuju again, and they're still fighting in their ninja battle with the earlobes and stuff. And then we finally, at the end of the chapter, jump to everyone thinks it's Kaido. Once again, he doesn't look as big as Kaido, I don't believe, but he is quite massive. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be as big. You could argue he is. He looks a hell of a lot like Kaido, and all the Heart Pirates and stuff, they're terrified that this is Kaido. And it's, of course, it's Momo. Momo is back, and Luffy's just looking up at him, and he's remembering their first encounter when they met, of course, on Punk Hazard and all this stuff. And he says, you know, is that you, Momo? All right, come on, Momo. Let's go back to Wano. Like, this is the time and stuff. And so everyone's, like, shocked it's the kid. And this is where Shinobu Real actually did give him the full 20 years. So he's the proper age he should have been. He's 28 years old now, the right age he would have been had he not jumped through time. So, and Shinobu's also crying because he looks just like, we all know who it's going to be. He looks just like Odin. I'm sure we don't see the human form yet. I don't know if he's going to have the actual hair and everything. That would be interesting. That would be cool because at this point, it would be a shocker to Kaido, because Kaido has regretted killing Odin for 20 years now. He has regretted that because Odin was the one he wanted to continue to fight. So if he actually did style his hair and everything, I don't know really if they have time for that, but if he did actually style his hair after Odin and stuff, and he comes in looking like Odin, two-sword style, we get Luffy, we get Marco, we get, you know, Zoro all up there and stuff. It would be just a great moment for the second coming of the Rooftop Gang. Yamato could finally say, like, Odin's returned. Like, I can now be Yamato. I'm free of these shackles, and now I can be Yamato, not of the Beast Pirates. I don't need to be Odin of Wano. I can just be me. It would be good character development for that side of things. There's just a lot of good things coming out of this, and I didn't expect him to be the size that he is. I mean, arguably, he probably is the size of Kaido at this point. So that looks really cool. That looks really impressive. I'm pretty happy with this because he did give up the 20 years. As Shinobu said, I can't reverse this. You know, you're going to age yourself 20, and Momonosuke's like, that's what I got to do. And plus, remember, had they just stayed in hiding, he'd be 28 anyways. So, you know, and the dragon powers wouldn't have him. So this is all happening in the right way that it should for Momonosuke to have his revenge and his development, because once again, this is Wano arc. This is his story, just as much as it is most of the characters in this arc. So either way, what a fantastic chapter. So much to cover, so much to talk about there. I hope this doesn't go like 40 minutes or anything like that. I haven't been checking the timestamp, but yeah, like, because I know there'll be a lot of people who will have 25, 30-minute reviews on this easily. I don't know how you just, like, unless you don't care about the Lunarian thing, unless you don't care about Sanji, unless you don't care about Zoro, it's hard to skip almost page by page. Like, some chapters you can be like, okay, and they fought, you know, and then this really cool moment happened in the fight, and there's a little bit of dialogue, and you can usually cover it in like 3 or 4 minutes. But everything was relevant, everything was cool, every action, every moment, all the implications we're getting. There's just a lot here. So either way, that's the review, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The 3 things I ask of you every single time. And don't forget, as the 4th thing, to drink responsibly, as always. As yours truly always does. So, that being said, stay tuned for the next piece of One Piece, and we'll see you guys back here next time. Peace out.